I wanted to talk a little bit about my entire content process right now, how I make content for myself, for my clients, and how we don't only make content for them, but how we make it work for them. Now, when I say make it work for them, what does that mean? Well, I specifically help business owners who sell a high ticket service make more content. So when we're thinking about content, we're not thinking necessarily about views and followers and a lot of those vanity metrics. I like to think of things in terms of how many more people can we get to buy what you sell and how many more of the right people. The first thing I always do with everyone is I need to know what that looks like. So once I've already identified that someone would be a good fit for my expertise, and I know that I could help them get more people into their high ticket service based business, then the very first thing is identifying what that target audience looks like. Who is your ideal client? Who is your ideal customer? What do they ask you about? What do they complain about? What do they really like about your work? What are the deep-rooted desires, or what are the deep-rooted fears that they have? What are maybe some shared experiences that a lot of these people have? Or what are some commonalities that these people have? Are they predominantly male, predominantly female? Do they live in certain areas? Do they have a certain income? All of those things are extremely important for me to make not only content, but the best content possible that I can for another business owner. That's because at the end of the day, if you just care about growing your business through social media, then social media is just a vehicle that's going to allow you to do that. I see it more in the business aspect. Can I get the right people to come to my store, come to my studio, come to my shop, come to my clinic, whatever that looks like? And that's the way I see things in terms of, first steps for whenever I work with someone. It's identifying what that person looks like, because that's the foundation of everything I do. I need to have a really great understanding of who that person is so that then I can go ahead and go into step 2, which is creating a content game plan. Now, this is extremely important because a lot of people, what they think is that they have to make content every single day if they're already making content. So a lot of the most diligent and successful business owners that I've spoken to, they're already well aware that they need to make content. And oftentimes they're already making content. So what I usually hear a lot is, look, I know I need to make content. I've been doing this for a while. I'm pretty good at it. I'm really good at what I do. But man, this just takes forever. I know that it could be a lot better. And so that's what I just want someone to come in, step in, guide me and lead me with some well thought out ideas for content and ads, and someone that can just go ahead and execute so that I can just be the face of the content and not take care of anything else. Because when you really think about it, there's lots of different steps that go into the content creation process. Now, it starts from ideas, whether that's a really loose script with just bullet points or whether that's a full script with all the words scripted out. Then you need to set some time to film that content. And if you have any luxury product, then typically what that looks like is cameras, lighting equipment, audio equipment. So getting all of that. Then it's editing, revision process, and then it's posting. And once you add in all the time that it takes to do all of that, if you really want something to look really nice, then it's going to take a lot more effort and time. So that leads me back to the point of why it's so important to have a content game plan, because it's already a very long process going from idea to posted piece of content. So having that content game plan really makes it much, much more efficient to make content because you already know exactly what you're going to talk about. And not only that, but you can make much more content in much less time. Now that leads me to the third step, which is filming. Now, personally, what my business does is we have already all of this lighting equipment, a bunch of cameras, audio equipment. Once we have that content game plan, we can just go ahead and execute. All we have to do is set up all of the equipment and then back to back to back, knock out a bunch of these content ideas. It's much easier to do this when you're doing short form content because not only will you have a lot of options if you are in your office or in your studio, your clinic, but you can also change outfits pretty simply and you can have a lot of variety in your content. And finally, last step is posting, and then optimization. Now, when it's all said and done, you need to edit the videos that you filmed and then post them. Now, the editing process is also a pretty tedious one, so I'm not going to get too into it. But basically, your options for editing are, if you really don't want to spend money, you can do it yourself. Would highly, highly not recommend that. Your next option is hiring editors from overseas. This is a good option, but it's also another time-consuming option that's going to take you a lot of revisions. Your final option is just hiring a business that's going to take care of the editing, filming, maybe other parts of the process, so that everything is not only cohesive, but everything gets taken care of as well. Once the content is edited, it's ready to post. I recommend, after making and batching all of the content, schedule out all of the content so that you don't have to take care of it. Typically, what that can also look like is, instead of you having to even schedule out your posts, what you can do is if you have a VA, an assistant, or an admin person in your office, in your workplace, at your business, you can set that person up with a system on posting your content to all of your social media platforms. That is something that you can easily be set up, and it won't take them much time at all to just schedule out all your pieces of content. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about that entire process. I do plan on making more videos going deeper into each section of that, whether that's the pre-planning, the filming, editing process, or the optimization process. I'll make separate videos on each of these topics, going over all of these different steps in more detail so you can see what exactly it looks like, and maybe even a behind the scenes of what this would look like when I work with one of my clients. So yeah, hopefully that all of that made sense to you. With this entire process, in just one session, an entire month's worth of content can easily be made with just one session of filming. So yeah, if you like this video, like it, subscribe, ask me any questions on YouTube, or probably a better place to ask me questions about how this works is on Instagram. It's roger.rodulfo. That's my first name dot my last name. I'll be happy to help you answer any questions you may have on this. And yeah, thanks for watching.